I'm feeling real, man. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining me on this week's episode. Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 32 of the Everybody Can't Go podcast. I am your host, Willmatic TV. Yeah, I had to just get straight to it this week. I said I don't wanna do too much. I don't wanna add anything extra to this. There's no need for the theatrics on this week's episode. You know what? I put the instrumental kit away. That's what I did. I said, you know what, man? Realistically, that was kind of like the training wheels, right? I'm not gonna hold you. When the instrumental is in the background, I definitely, it improves my performance. I'm kind of like Stephen A. when the instrumentals is playing. That's kind of like my first take. That's kind of like, when the cameras go on and they say you hit the on switch. Where do we start here? Carmelo Anthony definitely, announced retirement. What was it? 2 weeks ago now. Yeah, Melo retired, and my thoughts basically on that whole situation. I didn't really get a chance to get my full thoughts out on Carmelo Anthony's retirement. I definitely feel like not that it was premature, because obviously how old is Carmelo Anthony? He's the same age as LeBron, right? So I do feel like the retirement came at the right time. However, I do feel like the retirement wasn't, handled in the way or in the manner that I feel like personally a NBA player of Carmelo Anthony's caliber. I mean, listen, we seen D Wade, obviously D Wade, he got the whole going away tour, and obviously D Wade, was very very much deserving of this. We seen Kobe, he got the farewell tour. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see Braun get the farewell tour. I just feel like there's a certain group of players, you know, that kind of all go into that category as far as, I feel like, the respect level that the NBA should be giving these players, considering the fact that these players have given so much to the NBA. I definitely feel like Carmelo Anthony was one of those players. So it raises the question, what exactly is there some kind of political, movement within the NBA that kind of forces players out of the NBA, such as Carmelo Anthony? I seen Kevin Garnett, sit down on a podcast. They don't necessarily want guys in the locker room who kind of have that, knowledge of the game, but at the same time prefer to do things their way. You understand what I'm saying? As opposed to following the status quo. And I feel like Carmelo Anthony definitely was a player, who kind of wanted to do things his way. Um, obviously Denver, man, I was so team Denver. That Carmelo Anthony, Denver Nuggets run, and we that's kind of another thing I wanted to bring up too, right? The jersey retirement. So this is the thing, right? And we're gonna get into the NBA playoffs, and obviously the NBA finals is this Thursday, and we're gonna get into all of that and some, right? I don't want to jump ahead here, but obviously Nikolai Jokic, right? Is it a coincidence, or is this just some type of like, what are the chances that the best player in the NBA arguably right now is the player that ends up with your jersey number? So now it's this whole thing like, is Melo's jersey even gonna go up in the rafters in Denver, fam? Obviously, this is the team that drafted him. This is the team that, I don't think he played more years in Denver than he did in New York. However, he played some of his best year, his prime years was probably in New York, actually. What I'm saying is this. Denver was obviously a memorable stint for Carmelo Anthony, and that's clearly where he made his bones and made his name, right? Then obviously AI went over there and listen, man, don't get me started, man. That Allen Iverson, Carmelo Anthony, Denver Nuggets team was definitely that was low key the first big three. But we not gonna talk about Carmelo Anthony, Allen Iverson, J.R. Smith. This is before JR started making bad choices, by the way. This is when JR was still kind of young and you could kind of coach him a little bit. And he had the two, well, experts would say worst coaches, in that locker room, pretty much. Man, in retrospect, they ain't on retirement. It's ironically, apparently, Braun seen the video package and he got inspired. Because Braun was talking about retirement, you know, uh, after his exit, after getting swept by the Denver Nuggets. Now, this is the thing. Obviously, LeBron didn't get swept by himself, right? You got a whole team over there, AD, Anthony Reeves, the whole squad, Hachimura. And, listen, man, this isn't the squad that got it done. This wasn't the squad. And, you know, uh, I'm not sure. Obviously, everything that Braun does at this point, the conversation automatically gets shifted over towards his legacy, right? And everything that this man does and says now is basically like it's like a plus or minus of his legacy, basically, right? So, after getting swept and then, doing the post conference and basically insinuating retirement, I'm not gonna hold you. It does look bad as far as, when you start comparing him to the other guys, the other greats, right? We ain't never seen Kareem Abdul-Jabbar sitting up talking about he thinking about until it was actually time for him to hang it up, right? These guys played first, and they talk later, basically after their career was over. You feel me? Put out books and all these other things. I just feel like at this point, Braun really should just focus basically on what he needs to just do for himself. At the end of the day, I feel like for the first time, I seen Braun sitting at the podium, kind of looking like like he was basically questioning his own greatness, fam. Yeah, LeBron James, even LeBron questions his greatness at times, and at the end of the day, fam, 38 years old, 21 seasons, I feel like, he shouldn't really feel any pressure, as far at this point in his career, I feel like we've seen him accomplish a lot, a lot. I mean, we've seen him break Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record and, all of these accolades. And, obviously he probably want to, catch up to Mike as far as, championship rings or whatever the case may be. But realistically, fam, you still got five. Or is it four? How much rings Brown got? I'm pretty sure it's five. Jordan got six, right? Brown got five rings. Hold on. Let me fact check this. E.B.C.G fact check. Hold on 1 second. LeBron James rings. I'm not the biggest stat guy. I kind of just he only has four. Really? He ain't catching Jordan, man. Yeah, it's over for that. So yeah, he got four rings, fam. You got four. You get one more, you can put a ring on every finger. You know what I'm saying? On whatever hand you choose, fam. Realistically, there's players who don't have one. You're LeBron James. Listen, Bronny about to come into the league, and then that's the other portion of the conversation. Bron hinting at retirement now raises the question: will we ever get to actually see Bron and Bronny, fam? Like this is like something that we've kind of been. I mean, I've been waiting to see. Bron has been only been talking about this for since he's been a rookie in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like this has basically been his lifelong dream or whatever the case may be. So you kind of got people like myself, looking forward to seeing this. You talking about retirement, fam? It's kind of like we not really sure what's going on. Like what exactly is Bron thinking here? Maybe he felt something or he seen something or heard something, you know, during this past postseason that He might have just felt like, what I'm saying, this is it. I want to hang it up here, Is it the fact that he got swept? Right? Is he thinking about his legacy? Is he thinking about I don't want to continue to tarnish my legacy here. I kind of feel like I want to hang this thing up on good terms. And if I ain't gonna get a ring, it's kind of like, what's the point? And he even said that during the conference. I'm not playing to get to the post to the conference finals. I've done this so many times. At this point in my career, I'm only interested in winning rings, fam. And I'm not sure what Anthony Davis. I'm not really sure. Like when how does he? When you hear something like that and you're Anthony Davis, how do you feel? Because realistically, fam, it's kind of like they kind of got you and put you with Braun, right? Because in their mind, they had this master plan of like, all right, Braun is kind of, at the tail end of his career. AD is still young, and it just seemed like it was going to work. They did win. They won. They got one. They did get one, even though it was at the bubble, and there's a big question mark there because it was not clearly it wasn't really the same circumstances. Teams' motivations wasn't really there, right? And clearly, we see the rematch happening right now, and we going like I said, we gonna get to that. I don't want to jump ahead because realistically, fam, I have a headache. I'm actually drained. I didn't drink any water. I ate no breakfast, fam. I woke up and I had one thing and one thing on my mind only, fam. And that was to give y'all this episode because at the end of the day, fam, at the end of the day, I really had to sit back patiently and just wait for things to play out. And like I said, I don't want to jump ahead, right? So let me just continue. Braun, so is he retiring or not, fam? That's the question. Me personally, I don't feel like that's gonna happen, right? Not right now, not this season. And like I feel like I seen somebody raise the point. We didn't even see him do the farewell tour. So realistically, fam, it's like, come on, bro. We're not gonna see Braun exit the league without the farewell. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not. I don't think we're gonna see it this season. He might have been just speaking emotionally after just getting swept. After 4 games with the Denver Nuggets and Jamal Murray and Jokic. You know what I'm saying? Basically, just having their way with your team. I would imagine one is pretty emotional at that point, right? We gonna see Bronny throw that alley to Bron, or vice versa, before this thing is said and done, fam. That's my thoughts on that. So Carmelo Anthony retired, salute to Carmelo. I definitely feel like we ain't really get to see like I said, I feel like his farewell should have been a little bit more, like he posted an Instagram video or something. Like that was the retirement, man. Like I didn't think that that's how we would see Melo exit the league. That's just how I feel personally. Put some more respect on Melo and his legacy. He ain't win a championship ring. I don't care, bro. I don't care. The inspiration and the amount of how many Carmelo Anthony jerseys have I seen over the years? How many Carmelo Anthony bars have I heard in raps? He's one of the most influential players in your league, fam. And y'all made billions off of him, I'm sure. Put some respect on Melo, fam. Respectfully. Braun flopping retirement is crazy though. Like we know you like to flop on the court and shit. And I'm not one of those guys, right? I don't want to this is like a LeBron legacy tarnish campaign. Like it's like a mob of people who like every chance they get, fam, they want to like just destroy his legacy. I'm definitely not one of those people, but at this point we gotta acknowledge the fact that you are the king of the flops, fam. I seen one flop. It's just like, fam, they always catch it and then they put it on the Twitter and then they meme it and then it's like you get to really see it up close. Like, fam, you really be flopping, bro. Flopping retirement is a whole nother level though. Ja Morant post a cryptic post on social media. Is this a cry for help? Goodbye, mom and dad, then walks away. What now is what I wrote down. So obviously this is kind of a aging story. This broke about, I want to say about a week and a half ago or so, maybe 2 weeks now. Listen, man, it's been a lot going on, fam. A lot has been going on. It's been a week and a day since I potted, and gave y'all my last episode, right? So this might have happened like the next day after I wrapped that, realistically, right? And I wasn't about to go jump on and continue and edit and then add it on. So I had to kind of hold off on this, is what I'm saying. And I don't really have anything here at this point. It appears that everything is okay. I don't really see anything that would indicate that Ja Morant, because this is the thing, right? When the post went up, when the post was, when he originally posted this cryptic goodbye mom, goodbye dad, goodbye to his daughter, I believe he said that as well. Then it was like a picture of him with his back turned, and then like he talking about goodbye. So they went and sent the police over there to his crib, right? Is what happened. They went and did a wellness check on him, you know. And as it turns out, what he was basically saying, I mean, what he explained to the police, apparently, and what's being reported, I don't have any facts here, right? I'm not at his house. I don't have the police reports. This is what Skip Bayless said, right? And I'm gonna tag Skip, because at the end of the day, it is what it is. You are my source here. Skip Bayless said that Ja was referring to basically social media, right? So the goodbye was basically his way of saying like, yo, I'm done with social media, basically, is what the goodbye was. I'm not really sure at this point, like, do they need to just take the phone away from Ja Morant completely? Does he need a phone right now? Maybe we just take the whole phone away. I'm not sure why he's posting, cryptic posts to the point where like they have to send police. Then it's kind of like, fam, y'all go over to an NBA player's house. This was Shannon now. Shannon made this point on the same episode where it's like, y'all had time to do that, but look at all of this. It's other things that are so much more significant and so much more important. Y'all never pull up when y'all need to pull up, basically. All these goddamn mass shooters out here with semi-automatic and fully automatic rifles and all of this crazy shit. My point is this, fam. Well, I'm not sure what's going on and why Ja Morant is just continuing to make headlines. I feel like at this point he's kind of just is self-inflicted. Stop posting things for just take a break, or realistically, fam, get a podcast, because at least with a podcast you're able to kind of explain what you're saying, as opposed to just posting something cryptic and then having everybody else kind of try to figure out what you're saying, bro. You do not need to post something on social media. He said goodbye, mom and dad. You ain't say goodbye to your followers, so it's kind of like we're not really sure why you would say goodbye in this manner, right? And it raised a lot of, people were kind of, insinuating different things. And listen, we don't want to harp on that. Listen, the past is the past. Apparently, Ja Morant is okay. So we want to stay there, right? Apparently he's okay. I'm not really sure. Obviously he had that other incident with the, part two, and we not really sure what's going on with that. I ain't really been hearing much about that. I feel like they kind of the crazy shit about it is I feel like once again I feel like they're trying to trying to sweep this thing under the rug, man. They ain't really trying to, because it's the listen, the Memphis Grizzlies. I need some water. The Memphis Grizzlies obviously aren't playing basketball right now, right? So this is kind of like the perfect time to kind of tuck Ja Morant. And if he would just stop posting things on social media, it was basically quiet for a couple of days, is what I'm saying. And I feel like things was kind of ready to get swept under the rug again. Then you post this and you just stir everything right back up, fam. Nike took the damn sneaker off the website now. It's just like, bro, you gotta just learn how to get low sometimes, fam. You gotta know how to get low. Ja Morant is you too loud, and you're too stupid right now, fam. And I'm not really sure what's getting ready to happen here. It's gonna be an interesting off season though, and we're gonna see how the Memphis Grizzlies. Well, I still feel like they need to just trade him at this point. Just get him out of the city. let's get him somewhere else, change the scenery, obviously change the environment, Um, yeah, yeah. It's funny because I was just recently I just finished watching the Tupac documentary, and we gonna get to that too. I definitely got a review. The Tupac documentary was phenomenal. The Dead Mama documentary is a 5-part series, and so much is a lot of the biggest takeaway for me is basically just environment for real. And obviously doesn't matter how intelligent an individual is, if you put somebody in an environment long enough, you're gonna adapt to the environment. It's basically just what's gonna happen, right? Obviously, right now he's in an environment where different things are influencing him, to do these, act out in this manner. And I just feel like if they trade him, I'm not sure where they're gonna trade him to, but I'm just saying, man, maybe they need to just consider trading Ja Morant, altogether at this point. That's just my take on that. Pause. Yeah, so that's pretty much what's going on with Ja Morant. Just more of the same, mistakes. Seems like social media is having the wrong kind of influence on Ja Morant right now. Uh, Nike took the shoe off. What was it like his second release? You ain't even get to your third release yet, bro. I know Kyrie is sitting back like this is crazy. I had the best goddamn sneaker, arguably the best sneaker on Nike, fam. The Kyries. I mean, listen, man. I don't even want to talk about it, bro. How much money? Because we know Adidas damn near went bankrupt when they got rid of Yay. And we're not gonna act like our influence doesn't mean anything when it comes to these big brands or what we assume are big brands. Because realistically, fam, what are these brands without us? We seen what happened to Adidas. Then they tried to quietly tiptoe back over there, do a handshake agreement. Fam. Cut the bullshit. Y'all need us just like we, you know, feel like we need y'all. Because realistically, we don't need y'all. We don't. And if we would only just put our goddamn resources together, I had an idea that I thought personally was genius that I didn't see really come to fruition yet. So clearly, like I could still like get this done. And my proposal was that we should have a massive block party. Hear me out. The location, not really that important, but preferably Atlanta, Harlem. These are the two places that come to mind, right? Harlem probably would be the best suited for this, right? Massive block party in Harlem, 125th Street, right? Pick a day of the week. It doesn't really matter. Any weekend, whatever the case may be. We could do this. How about on Juneteenth, fam? We do this on Juneteenth. We get all of our best black owned vendors, right? With black owned clothing, sneakers, hoodies, hats, everything, right? The whole regalia. We come with our Nike, right? Our Nike that we already purchased, because obviously we're not going to continue to support Nike, are we? I haven't bought Nike since, by the way. I've continued to wear the Nike that I've already purchased because obviously I've already bought it, right? But realistically, fam, I still kind of low key. I'm kind of still. I still kind of have a beef with Nike. It didn't really sit well with me, that whole situation with Kyrie and other things that I seen play out. All I'm saying is this, man. We bring our Nike to the block party, and we redesign this shit, fam. We paint over this shit. We put our logos over this shit, and we sell all of our black owned merch at this block party. I feel like if we film that, personally, I just feel like I feel like we would just start seeing things trending in a different direction as far as Nike is concerned in business. And personally, I feel like they're not gonna drop Ja Morant because he's lucrative. And that's just the bottom line, fam. Like I said, they really need us more than we need them at the end of the day. The NBA OGs, where are the NBA OGs for Ja Morant? And it's so crazy that, I definitely did see another clip. KG is just, KG is everywhere when it comes to basketball and shit. Like he'll just pop up on your feed. But he definitely, he kind of asked the same question. Where are the NBA OGs? And I wrote down KG. Stat guys like Matt Barnes, Allen Iverson. I mean, obviously Allen Iverson. Is probably like the number one player that we kind of watched go through everything that we're seeing Ja Morant go through today. The only difference is Allen Iverson went through this before, we had a social media, right? Before there was a social media, Allen Iverson was going viral, for all of these things, we just never really seen it get to this point as far as like, we never seen Allen Iverson brandishing a gun, fam. But AI definitely went to prison before he went to the league. And obviously, anybody that knows AI's story, I just feel like John Morant and Allen Iverson, would be a good mentorship, pairing to say the least. Now, that's only if John Morant is up for that kind of thing, I just feel like personally, if he was willing to go to the facility in Florida, if he even went to that facility, right? Because now they're questioning if that even happened. I feel like just go sit down with an NBA OG like AI, man, or KG or Stack or Matt Barnes. Maybe not Stack or Matt Barnes though, because they kind of like they do a podcast now, so they kind of like they're media now. So that's basically like it's kind of like the Jalen Rose thing again. Yeah, man, but I'm not really sure, man. Praise up for John Morant though. Hopefully that situation manifests itself for the best. We move on from John Morant and his cryptic tweet to something that started off pretty cryptic in the beginning, right? I'm trying to tie it in. Listen, at the end of the day, fam, all that. The instrumentals ain't on. My segues ain't really hitting. They not. We gotta acknowledge the fact that I'm trying something different. The instrumentals really, really help. They do. Ayo, man. Listen, man. It's go time. Errol Spence, and Terrance Crawford official. Finally. Finally official. It's finally official. A pen has finally been, contracts have been signed. And ladies and gentlemen, July 29th is the date that has been set for Errol Spence and Terrance Crawford. I mean, listen, man, this is a fight that obviously we've been waiting for this one for some years now. And there's been a lot of back and forth, there's been a lot of talk, there has been a lot of hype. And I'm very, very, I'm glad that they made it, for July 29th, which is realistically, that's about 2 months, right? So that's still a little bit of time. We still got a little, we got some weeks to wait, or whatever the case may be. All I'm saying is this, man. The time for talking is done, man. We got the contract signed, and we are getting ready to see one of, what we are expecting to be one of the, the biggest fights, in boxing history, because what one thing that I've learned about boxing is you can never just always go into a fight and expect, just because the fight hype is big, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that the fight is gonna match the hype, right? And we've seen that recently with the Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis fight. They was building that fight for years as well, too, right? That was years in the making. And Ryan Garcia went in there and basically looked like he forgot how to box, fam. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes the moment can be bigger, or the hype can just be bigger than the moment. You understand what I'm saying? Or maybe the hype is just too big for the fighter. And maybe he really just cracked under the pressure. We'll never know. Was it the training camp? We'll never know. Was it the weight restriction thing? We'll never know. Because they not going to rematch, fam. Shakur Stevenson is ready for that fight. Uh, Devin Haney is, well, he, in his mind, he's ready for that fight. So I feel like at this point, Ryan Garcia, he's in the back of the line now. But Terrance Crawford and Errol Spence, this is, it's not really much to say here other than we basically gonna see, how this plays out. I do want to say that I definitely am favoring Terrance Crawford right now. As of right now, and based on, what I've seen, I seen him recently sit down with Stephen A. Smith, and body language, talking is one thing, but you can clearly see, and if you watch that sit down, Terrance Crawford is definitely ready for this fight. Errol Spence, on the other hand, as of right now, I'm gonna just give Terrance Crawford the edge. I feel like he just seems to be a lot more prepared for the fight. Right? He said it. He said, "Listen, I'm ready to go today if we need to go today, fam." He's been waiting for this fight just like we've been waiting for this fight. So, Errol Spence, on the other hand, I feel like he had to deal with so much, other things outside of boxing. He had injuries and listen, the man almost died. You feel me? Obviously, he had a crazy car accident, which I mean, the fact that he's even still boxing is crazy, right? The car flipped over several times and, came back. He came back and fought though after that accident. We've seen him in the ring since twice. And he looked pretty sharp against Danny Garcia. So I mean, I don't think that it took anything away from his boxing, but then he got another injury. It's just like this man can't stay uninjured, bro. Something with his eye. I'm not really sure exactly what it was, but he had an injury to his eye. I believe he had to have surgery. So it's just like we really haven't seen him since that eye surgery, is what I'm saying. So I mean, listen, man, for his sake, I hope Errol Spence, I mean, listen, if he signed the contract, I would imagine he's been in the gym and, he's confident with, the level of boxing that he's currently at now, But Terrence Crawford is just a different, I don't know. So that's July 29th, man. So we definitely, that's something to look forward to, as far as the fight game. I don't really feel like we have anything on the other side as far as UFC. Conor McGregor. When is that fight? And Chandler. I'm not sure. They've been promoting that thing for like 2 years. I'm not even sure when that fight is. I know we got Dustin Poirier, and Gaethje, and they fighting for the BMF title, which is kind of like, kind of diminishes the fight to a certain degree. The BMF thing was kind of like a little, it was kind of just like a mock thing for, you know, Nate Diaz and George and Jorge Masvidal, for their fight. And I feel like now they just kind of like just putting the belt on anybody. It's not really a real belt, is what I'm saying. So they're fighting for that belt. The fight is gonna be a great fight regardless. That fight, when is that though? Hold on, I gotta look that up though. When is that UFC event? Because I think that the card in general. Hold on, let me see something here. That might be this week, bro. UFC, uh, Poirier, Gaethje, 2. That's gonna be at 291, July 29th. Interesting. Oh, so wow. Okay. So they what? Are you serious? So that the same fucking night as they're bugging. These I can't believe that, bro. That's the same night the Terrence Crawford and the Errol Spence fight, bro. I'm not watching this. Are you kidding me, bro? Dana White is out of his mind for this. So you gonna make me choose between a fight that I can't miss that boxing fight, is what I'm saying. I don't care what you do. I don't care if Khabib Nurmagomedov comes out of retirement, fam. This is the fight of the fights here. They definitely are going head to head with boxing July 29th. So yeah, Poirier versus Gaethje July 29th, UFC 291 in Salt Lake City. I'm probably gonna miss that, but it is what it is, right? I hope that Terrence Crawford. I hope we get a knockout. We better get a knockout now, fam, because I do want to see that Gaethje fight. I do. And low key, Dana White might need to push this fight back. I'm not sure why. It's the same. I'm all for this. I'm all for this at this point. Rest in power, Tina Turner. Listen, man. Rest in power to the icon, Tina Turner. I don't have much to say here other than, she was 83 years old. Uh Listen, man, accolades. I got some accolades for you. How about 12 Grammys? Huh? 12 Grammys for Tina Turner, the first black woman to grace the cover of Rolling Stone magazine, and that is all the accolades I wrote down. There are many more accolades. You can go ahead and take the time to hit the Google search, and you will see a whole list of accolades with Tina Turner. I mean, listen, man, Tina Turner, her name, obviously her story and, that whole thing, Ike Turner, and, the whole relationship, the domestic violence. I feel like there's a lot of women who probably can, take something from the Tina Turner story, and to say the least, right? And relate to and be inspired by. Listen, she was a trailblazer for a lot of different women. I feel like she lived a full life though. At 83 years old, we want to see all of our icons and our trailblazers and our legends live and basically die old. Getting back to the Pac doc, you know what I'm saying? I just keep, and we gonna get to. Do I need to just get to the Pac doc review? I got it at number 8. I got some things right. All right, so look, we gonna get to that. We gonna get to that just now. Hold on. But Pac died at 25. Pac was a legend at 25 years old, bro. Tina Turner, 83 years old. I'm just saying, man, we want to see our legends die old. You know what I'm saying? And live long. But rest in power to Tina Turner. Uh, absolutely. I definitely Vic Mensa had the freestyle of 2023. Yeah, 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 absolutely. So I definitely stumbled upon a Vic Mensa. It was really a whole interview that he did on the Sway in the morning. Shout out to Sway. Sway, I mean, listen, man, I don't feel like Sway gets his credit enough in the culture. And I know that Sway, obviously, I just feel like when you do something for so long, it kind of just becomes like people kind of take you for granted. I feel like Sway is taken for granted, man. Sway's interviews are the some of the best interviews, some of the best audio files in the archives. Like, fam, Sway has the most legendary interviews, basically like the conscious cultured Howard Stern. He's our Howard Stern, fam. His interviews are like just like it's like therapy sessions and conversations. And I mean, listen, man, I stumbled upon the interview. It's about an hour long, hour and change, or whatever the case may be, and it's a dope interview, right? And I would actually recommend anybody, you should go check this interview out because Vic Mensa's on there. He's saying some stuff, man, that I didn't really expect to hear Vic Mensa say. Vic Mensa's been basically gone for some time now. I haven't really seen him. He kind of just resurfaced. And that was kind of the reason why I clicked on it, right? When I seen him sitting down with Sway, I said, let me see what's going on with Vic. He on there talking about connecting with, going to Ghana and, the importance of, connecting with your roots and all this spiritual talk. He on there talking. Then obviously Sway being Sway, he gonna drop a beat at some point, right? So Sway dropped a beat at some point and Vic Mensa started rapping. Not gonna hold you, man. Everything I heard him say was some of the greatest shit I've ever heard. Listen, this is the best freestyle I've heard thus far in 2023 because obviously the year's not over, right? And realistically, fam, Kendrick, listen, we seen Kendrick pop up on a Beyonce remix out of nowhere. We don't know what he'll do. He might pop up and he might go to Sway and do a Five Fingers of Death tomorrow. We don't know with this guy, is what I'm saying. We don't know when Lupe might just get bored and want to just come outside with his notebook and just deliver something. We don't know, fam. So all I'm saying is this. He had indeed the best freestyle I've heard thus far in 2023, hands down. And I mean, if you go ahead and take the time to go ahead and do your due diligence, you know what I'm saying? And you go sit and listen to that yourself. I mean, listen, man. All you rappers are on the clock, fam. You damn near, if you a rapper and you hear this, you damn near gotta take it personal. And it's damn near like you have to respond to this. All of you rappers are on the clock to respond to Vic Mensa, who had an amazing freestyle. And, he brought another brother up there with him who had an incredible story. Is, a guy, I believe his name was Musa. and it's a whole thing there. And he was incarcerated, and he called up to the Sway show, and that was basically their introduction, right? So then Vic brought him up there, and there was a whole thing. And then he freestyled. And listen, man, it was really really dope, man. But all I'm saying is this: all you rappers is on the clock, man. Vic Mensa went up there and spit some amazing. I mean, listen, it's damn. You can't even call that a freestyle. What he did, it was damn near like like the first three songs of an album type thing. Like it was crazy. Amazing writing, very impressed. And he definitely got better. I knew Vic Man. I always knew he was talented. You understand what I'm saying? And obviously, when Kanye takes you under his wing, right? And we already know that he was probably writing for Kanye and all type of shit, right? Clearly, I see why Kanye was running around with Vic Mensa, right? That was probably his pen for that whole Life of Pablo or whatever was going on during that run, right? The kid is talented, man. The kid is talented, and he definitely got way better. Yeah. So we at that point in the episode where I kind of gotta just find it within myself to kind of just just pod through it, man. Just pod through the pain. I gotta just pod through the pain sometimes, fam. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it's not easy to pod. Sometimes you're in pain, physically, spitting everything. Your whole body might be in pain. Your throat might be sore. All of the above. All I'm saying is this. I wrote this down on the docket. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I did it to myself. And now we're here. And at the end of the day, NBA playoff basketball has definitely been, a roller coaster, man. A roller coaster. It's kind of just like, it's a roller coaster that I'm trying to get off of at this point, right? And the thing is stuck. You ever been on a roller coaster and they put they strap the thing down on you, they pull the thing down on your stomach, you can't breathe, you trying to wiggle your way out. I feel like I'm on a roller coaster that I don't want to be on right now, fam. And I'm telling them, hey, and they just keep sending this shit to keep going back in circles, fam. Get me off of this roller coaster. This NBA playoffs has been so. Let's just get to what we get into here. Game seven. It was. I really wrote down it is with exclamation points because that's how excited I was, right? Imagine my excitement, right? I did a whole episode dedicated to Jimmy Butler, okay? Decimating and destroying the Boston Celtics premature, right? And much to my shock and surprise, I delivered that episode, and then of course the Boston Celtics go on to win the next two games, right? So that's basically what happened. Leave egg all on my face, right? So what happened was I lost faith in the Boston Celtics because they lost faith in themselves, and I watched them do it. And I said to myself, "There's no way in hell that they're gonna be able to. How are they gonna be able to climb back up this hill? How? You literally strapped Joe Mazula to your back, and you tried to climb up a hill that was too steep, fam. And I just didn't see them getting back up the hill. They started getting back up the hill. So I put out episode 31, the Jimmy-less pack, right? That's what I named it, because that's how I mean, listen, at the time that was what was going on, fam. Jimmy Buck, he was killing the Celtics, right? They go on, they win the next two games somehow. I didn't even watch those two games, by the way. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like I lost faith, is what I'm saying. I gave up. I was done with the Celtics. When I seen 3-0, I said, how did we get here? This is not how it's supposed to this is not how it's supposed to go. So fast forward, man. They win the game four. What was it? Game five? Or was it game four? They win game four and game five, right? Then we get to game six. At this point, I'm back watching. I'm not gonna hold you. I had to get back. You know what I mean? Like, hold on. We at game six now. This is crazy. It started to look different, right? And I said to myself, maybe they, I don't know. Maybe Udoka is on the phone in the locker room or something. he might be FaceTiming Joe Mazzulla. Because at the end of the day, we're not gonna act like Joe Mazzulla. That was Udoka. That was his little man's right there, right? He was under Udoka. I'm pretty sure he still got his number. Is what I'm saying, fam. He might have hit him up and had him FaceTiming from the locker room, fam. And he might have been drawing up from the. I'm not sure what was going on, but they figured something out and they started winning games again. So I tuned back in game six. I don't have no stats in front of me, man. Let's just get to the last goddamn play because they almost blew it game six for real. Game six, they really lost game six, right? I'm not sure why Marcus Smart insists on being the guy that takes the last shot every time, but somehow he got the ball and took the last shot. But you know what? We're not mad at him this time because for some reason, the shot he took, the ball rolled off of that rim perfectly for Derek White, who's probably going to get a max contract at this point, fam. Right? Derek White was literally the savior for the Boston Celtics, fam. He looked like Jason Tatum's distant relatives, fam. One of his cousins from the other side, right? One of Jason Tatum's cousins from the other side of the family that they don't really with like that. Like one of them that come to the house, you don't really want him in the room. Like, all right, I guess do I have to play the game with him? All right, let him. Come on, man. He was the savior. It wasn't Tatum. It was Derek White that came and got the perfect putback, fam, out of nowhere. I mean, he rolled that thing off the backboard like Kyrie, fam. The circumference off the finger roll, it was perfect, man. I didn't even know he had a layup package for real. We've never even seen him really lay up. So the fact that he was the guy to come and force the game seven, right? At this point, now it's kind of like, wow, like this is really like they're really about to make his like they really climb back into the series, force the game seven to go back to Boston, right? I mean, you can't draw up a better scenario, right? You just can't draw up a better scenario. And ladies and gentlemen, somehow we get to game seven yesterday in Boston. And I said to myself, I said a team was gonna get smacked. I didn't think it was gonna be the home team, fam. I didn't think it was gonna be the Boston Celtics at home to get smacked. They got smacked. They got smacked. I mean, and that's just what happened, bro. I mean, why they got smacked is a whole other thing. Jaylen Brown, where do I start here? Where do I start here? So Derek White, okay, he was the savior, buzzer beater. Let me see, I got some notes here. Put back, okay, 3-3. Jaylen Brown definitely got into some foul trouble in that game as well. Game six, he definitely got them started too, right? He did. He was hitting some big shots. He started off, I believe, 3 for 3, 4 for 4, something like this, and he kind of got them rolling. Which I feel like made it easier for them to kind of stay in the game towards the end, right? To even get to that point where they got that putback, right? My point is this: Tatum did his thing, cool, but then we get to game seven. I almost was ready to apologize to Joe Mazzulla, who I felt like maybe we didn't give him a fair shake. Maybe we didn't really give him a chance for real. Maybe we just really didn't because realistically, like I said, he's a rookie coach. This is the first time he's been in this scenario. I feel like he said something along the lines of you know basically we had a bad week. It's a whole season. Like we just had a bad week. During the length of a season, like having a bad week in retrospect is not really that, that should be expected basically, right? They just had a bad week during the wrong week, you know, during the playoffs when it's kind of like we don't really want to. I mean, listen, I say all that to say this. Maybe Joe Mazzulla, you know what? I'm not going to apologize because I mean, he's still going to he's out of here, right? They're not going to keep him. So I don't really feel the need to apologize. I don't even really feel like I said anything that was that crazy. What I said he need to go coach in the D League? Maybe he does. Maybe he does. Maybe he wants. Maybe he doesn't need to coach anymore. Period. Maybe he's done with coaching. Because he doesn't really seem that interested when you ask him questions. He answering the questions with one word sometimes, yes and no, fam. They ask you about a whole like what did you draw up These are like elaborate, specific questions like that coaches need to answer, fam. You don't even have the answers for the reporters. Then it's kind of like we don't think you even have the answers in the locker room because your players are not playing the way they need to be playing. Jaylen Brown is finished. Let's just start. Let's just get to it, fam. I was trying to hold off on it because I'm looking at it on the docket, and it actually hurts me to say this because that was my guy. That was my guy. That was my guy. It's not my guy anymore. Jaylen Brown is done. Done. He's finished, bro. I don't know. I'm not saying his career is done. Let me slow down. Because obviously he has a lot of basketball left to play in the NBA. What I'm saying is, as far as me, and as far as that whole Boston Celtics, I want to see these core guys get a ring. They've been at it for so long. The two young studs, that's over with for me, fam. That performance I seen last night. We're gonna start with Jaylen Brown, right? We're gonna go down the line. Jaylen Brown is a bum based on that performance. Solely based off of the performance last night in Game 7, Jaylen Brown is I wouldn't want to see him. I wouldn't pick Jaylen Brown in a park game right now, fam. Facts. If Jaylen Brown was on the sideline in the park and it came down to Billy Hoyle and Jaylen Brown, I'm picking up Billy Hoyle, fam. This is a fact. Now, this is the thing. Obviously, Jaylen Brown is, I can't even say what I was getting ready. Is he a talented player anymore? I don't know what he is anymore. What was he doing out there last night, fam? Turnovers. How many turnovers did he have? 8, 9, 10? How many of them came in how many turnovers did he have? Bro, I need to know, like, basically, like, this is what I'm trying to say here. I don't understand. So, Jason Tatum, the first play of the game. So, I really should start with the first play of the game, right? This guy goes and, I mean, obviously, the plan appeared to be I'm going to come out aggressive in the first quarter, which obviously we always want to see the superstar come out aggressive in the first quarter, right? To set the tone, to get the other guys going and all that. That's great. I'm not sure what, like, he jumped up, he came down, he landed on his ankle wrong, and he twisted his goddamn ankle. The first play of the game, fam. The guy that we Mr. Game 7 twisted his goddamn ankle. He didn't even get 2 plays to get in rhythm. The first play of the game, he's out of there, right? So this is the thing. He didn't, he stayed is what happened. And in my opinion, this is where they lost the game. Jason Tatum twisted his ankle. I'm not sure what he went over to the sideline and said, but he clearly didn't get any treatment, throughout the whole entire game. He was on the sideline sitting, drinking Gatorades, chilling. I thought he was going to be okay. That was that was what the thinking was. If he's not over there getting treatment, they not over there. He's not even putting ice on his shit. Nothing, bro. He's chilling. He come back on the court and clearly he wasn't okay. He started grimacing. He started limping. He catching rebounds. He coming down. He grimacing in pain. He bending down. He throwing the ball right up. He giving Derek White the ball to take the ball up. You feel me? He couldn't even take the ball up the court, bro. So at that point, wouldn't you want to get him off of the goddamn court? Get him out of here. Send him to the locker room to get treatment, bro. Let's get a guy on the court. Put Blake Griffin in. I'll put somebody in with fresh. All we need is a pair of fresh legs right now. Someone who could actually move and be, you know, run to the and get to the goddamn defense. He wasn't even able to play defense anymore at that point, bro. I was watching Caleb Martin. I mean, he looked like Caleb Martin looked like Tracy McGrady, fam, on the Rockets during the 15-second comeback, fam. When he scored, what was it, 30? He scored something crazy in like 15 seconds, fam. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Caleb Martin was unstoppable, fam. He looked like Kobe during the 81 game, fam. He looked like every great player. He looked like Jordan for the buzzer beater. He was running. He looked like Mahmoud Abdul Rauf running under the basket, the turnarounds, midi. He pulling up threes. He was getting good looks too, though. And we have to acknowledge the fact that Jason Tatum couldn't move anymore. So because of the fact that Joe Mazula, who I was ready to apologize to, but after I seen yesterday's performance, once again, I just don't know if you're ready to coach, sir, for on an NBA level. You cannot have a guy, a superstar, on the court not being a superstar, fam. It just doesn't make sense. He's on the court. He's not doing anything, bro. He got rebounds. Okay, we Blake could get some rebounds too. Blake Griffin is over there on the bench aging right now, fam. He look like he's unrecognizable. I barely even recognize Blake anymore. He over there getting so goddamn old on the bench. Put Blake Griffin in the goddamn game, fam. We seen what he was doing in that net series when they put him in for that like 2 minutes or whatever it was. He was diving on the goddamn ground, getting loose balls and man, I just don't. I'm so like I'm not even that angry anymore. I had an amazing sleep. I'm kind of like at this point, like you gotta just accept the fact that this team is not a good team. Like it's just they're not a good team, man. I thought it was gonna be something great. I thought they had enough time to, you know, figure things out, and I thought that they was kind of like they've been here so many times at this point. I just feel like they should be comfortable here now. They don't look comfortable here, man. They look like a bunch of rookies, man. Like it's just like, bro, what are they doing out there? Jaylen Brown. Let's get back to Jaylen Brown. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not done with him. There was a play he got stripped so many times, bro. He was trying to do the in and out behind the back. Jaylen Brown. I'm not sure. Jaylen Brown will have to work on his handle this offseason, man. Like he don't have any moves for real. If you really watch how his whole style is just a bunch of wild, out of control crossovers to the rim. He doing he's double pumping, taking jump shots, bro, wide open. Like that's how out of control he is. You're anticipating some kind of contact that's not there every time you get the ball, bro, and it's not translating the way it needs to. They stripping you. They just taking the ball out of your hand. You just throwing the ball to them sometimes. Like you have to slow down, my brother. And I mean, listen, Jaylen Brown is talented, bro. It's just like he's not gonna be talented on this team, man. They're gonna have to get rid of this guy. That's just what it comes down to now. And clearly, I mean, listen, I'm willing to bet anything that the Boston Celtics will look completely different next season, man. Jaylen Brown is gone. Al Horford is out of here. They're gonna keep Tatum, obviously, right? Because Tatum is like, you got Deuce. He's like the Steph Curry. I mean, you're not gonna get rid of Tatum, right? Marketability. There's so much we can do with this guy, and he's still young, obviously. And obviously, maybe if we put certain people around him, maybe that's gonna take his game to another level. I'm assuming that that's what the thinking is at this point. He needs somebody else around him. They need a point guard. Marcus Smart, cause the green hair, it's just kind of like, fam, at this point, my brother, we might need you to get a haircut or something. I'm not sure. They might trade him too. They might trade Marcus Smart because you taking the last shot. You ain't never hit a buzzer beater in your career, bro. Why you insist on keep taking the last shot, bro? When is the last time Marcus Smart hit a buzzer beater, bro? You don't do that. Get him. Let's get Kyrie. You know what? You know what? I don't even want to see Kyrie back over there, fam. Forget about all of that I said on the last episode. I said, yeah, Kyrie, he should have stayed. And no. I see why Kyrie left now. He has no business in a Boston Celtics jersey, fam. And at this point, I'm gonna go on record and denounce the Boston Celtics, fam, out from fandom. I am no longer a Boston Celtics fan, and I never really was a Celtics fan, by the way. I already explained, like, it was really just the core guys. Isaiah Thomas, that was where it kind of all started for me. IT was over there. They had Kelly Olynyk over there and Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and then they got Horford, and then I kind of stayed. And then when Kyrie came over there, I was a Celtics fan at that point, right? Then when he left, I kind of still was rocking with the core guys. At this point, I'm not rocking with none of these guys. Okay? It is a wrap. I don't care anymore. Listen, good luck, guys. You're young. You're gonna figure it out. I won't be there for the journey. Okay? There's other teams and other players. I might be a Kings fan or something. The hungry guys who want to play basketball and want to win, fam, and come to the game every game, and you can see, the team rallies behind each other. Like I want to see good basketball. I don't want to see Derek White was literally was carrying these guys, bro. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Derek White was trying his hardest. His hair is falling out. Like this is Derek White. His hair is falling out, man. That is how hard he's trying. He's losing his goddamn hair out there, bro. Trying to carry these guys, trying to figure out what. Because it's just like, bro, I was a role player when I signed here. Why am I now the guy that's carrying the two superstars, bro? I thought that's what Jaylen Brown was there for. When Tatum get hurt, the first play of the game, that's exactly when we need Jaylen Brown to have a 40 piece. We needed a 40 piece from you. Where's the 40 piece, dog? We didn't get one big performance from Jaylen Brown during this whole entire postseason, bro. That's a wrap. They trading that man. I'm not sure if it's going to be. Listen, I wouldn't mind seeing him go to the Nets or something like that. I just feel like, I don't know, go over there. I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. Dame to the Celtics, maybe? They need a guard. They do. And Dame is not really, the traditional guard either. It's kind of like, I'm not sure what they're going to do, man. I'm all for the bandwagon, though. I'm all for the bandwagon. A season low, 87 points scored. Can you imagine? Imagine climbing back into a series with the chance to make history after acknowledging the fact that you only needed one game. You got 3 games, got to the game 7, got to your home floor, and then performed your worst that you did the whole season. A season low 87 points for the Boston Celtics. Let that sink in right there. They scored their lowest output when they needed it the most. When they needed the most points, they scored the least fucking points. This is what this team does, bro. This is the culture of this team. This is the heart of the team. Kobe Bryant, at this point, would no longer be a Jason Tatum fan. I'm certain of it. He wouldn't be doing the. He would be doing the. What was the name of the? Was it Detailed? Where he was sitting down and analyzing the plays and the players. That was a really good. He had something going with that too, man. I feel like a lot of players took his blueprint with that low key, like Draymond, huh? I see what you doing over there, Draymond. Low key, we not gonna act like Kobe Bryant ain't inspire a lot of these NBA guys to do podcasts. Facts. I feel like he inspired Draymond in particular, though. My point is this: he wouldn't be doing this. Would be an episode focused on Jimmy Butler and the Heat, fam. He wouldn't even be focusing on this stuff because this is not good basketball. It's not good basketball. Jacking up the threes, no plays being run. Joe Mazula, I'm just not sure what's going to happen going forward. I'm sure what's going to happen. They're going to break this team up. I'm certain of that. Jason Tatum you soft, my boy. We going to have to just call it like, listen, bro, you soft. Jason Tatum is soft, man. It is what it is, fam. And at the end of the day, he played on the ankle, right? He played on a hurt ankle. We going to give you that. You played on your hurt ankle. But fam, it's kind of like if you gonna play, the expectation is we want you to actually do something on the hurt ankle. I mean, we seen what Jordan did with the flu, fam. This was your opportunity to have a flu game. The ankle game is what they would have called it. You know what I'm saying? The Tatum ankle game, fam. You blew it. You blew it. You should have went to the locker room. You should have got treatment, fam. What you doing out there limping around? Derek White, max him out and build around Derek White. That's what you do. They might need to trade Tatum too at this point. I think you need to build around Derek White at this point. If you are the Boston Celtics front office, you need to be looking at Derek White, real closely right now. And I think we need to get the right pieces around him, okay? And let him lead the franchise to where they need to go in the future. Jason Tatum does not want an NBA championship. Jaylen Brown doesn't know how to play basketball anymore. I don't know what happened, bro. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but at this point, I mean, until you posterize somebody or something, man, I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough for me to like. get back on the yeah, and the rest of the guys are just trade pieces at this point. Malcolm Brogdon, I said it as soon as he came in the game. He took a shot. He missed. He missed badly. I said, sit him down right now. He missed the last game. He's out of rhythm. Joe Mazula, you are a coach. How do you not? If I can see that from my couch, you are standing there. You are in the locker room with these guys. How did you not he's clearly not ready to play, bro. Whatever happened, his arm, his tendon. Oh, he had a tendonitis between his arm and his. Get him out of the game, bro. He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. And I feel like he might have threw them out of rhythm too a little bit. I'm not sure. They got so many goddamn players. It's just like it's hard to really like you don't know what you're gonna get on the court with, basically. It's so many different role players and they don't know how to play their role. 1 minute the role player is the star, then the next minute Tatum is a bum. This is I don't listen. The Celtics are done. The Celtics are done, man, and that's just what it is, man. So here we are, Miami. Let's focus a little bit more on Miami too at this point, because realistically, fam, man, kudos to them. Man, I wish I lived in Miami right now, man. I'm not gonna hold you. I know Miami beat they are going crazy right now on the beach, fam. It's titties out, all type of shit right now. Jimmy Butler, the parade. I might go for the parade. I'm not gonna hold you. Like this this performance. Where's my pen? Hold on. I just threw my pen in anger. Sorry. All right, we back. Jimmy Butler, man. And you know what? You know what? We already kudos to Jimmy Butler. We did that last episode. This is the Caleb Martin episode right here, fam. He might be the cover. Like, I don't know, man. This is crazy, bro. Why did Caleb Martin, it looked like Drake. Why did Drake kill the Celtics like this, bro? What I've never heard of this guy before. Listen, I'm not gonna hold you. You know what Caleb Martin is to me? Caleb Martin is one of those players that I only know exists because of NBA 2K. Let me explain. Because I play NBA 2K, which I haven't played this shit in like 2 weeks. My Xbox been at the shop, and realistically, fam, the deadline is Friday for that. I might be in jail this Friday, fam, but that's a whole other story, right? They've been playing with me in my Xbox. We're gonna go pick that up on Friday, man. And realistically, fam, Caleb Martin might be on at my I might put my mod player on the Heat at this point. Like the Heat just look like the team that I just want to be on the Heat now. Like I just like the Heat, bro. I want to cheer for the Heat. I might be a Heat fan, is what I'm saying. And I already said out of the two teams that's left at this point, Denver and Miami, I was a Denver fan at one point when Melo was there, AI and all this. Obviously they're not there anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not like a lifelong Denver fan or anything like this. Either one of these teams though, I feel like are deserving of the ring. I do prefer to see Miami get it though. I just feel like, man, they fought just a little harder to get here. So I feel like to see them cap everything off with a championship ring would be appropriate for them. Caleb Martin lit these guys up though, man. I'm not sure. Obviously Tatum was hurt, so that helped. He was just hitting every goddamn shot. Then you got Gabe Vincent, the role players they have, man. Duncan Robinson, he moving with a different confidence and swag out there. He taking it to the rack now. He not even just catching and shooting anymore. So it's just like you got to give the Miami Heat credit too. Is basically what I'm trying to say. They played good basketball. They have a good brand of basketball. They have an amazing coach in Coach Eric Spoelstra, and then they have a great locker room leader in Jimmy Butler. It's a really good team. So, the Celtics, they lost to a good team at the end of the day. They still suck though. And I'm not a fan anymore. That stands. That still stands. It's the way they perform. Why would you drag us to this point? I mean, I can't even imagine the Boston fans out there, they was leaving, they was filing out, fam. In the third quarter, they started leaving the goddamn building. Like I would have filed, I would have did the same thing. I would have threw my jersey on the court, all type of shit, bro. You don't drag us here to a game 7 to perform like this. It's not so much about the loss. Understand what I'm saying here? It's not so much about the loss. right? It's wins and losses in life, right? We all gonna lose. It's about the way the loss happened, bro. It's about the performance. That's what I'm talking about here. We're not talking about the loss because they lost to a good team, obviously. We talking about the performance, fam. Your output wasn't there. Your energy wasn't there. Tatum, you trying to tell me that when Tatum is not at his best, there's nobody else, Jalen Brown, that can step up to kind of like rally the guys and galvanize the Marcus Smart. Does he even know how to play defense anymore? Like, I don't know what happened to the defensive player of the year, fam. I seen Duncan Robinson get into the rack like Kyrie, finger rolling English off the glass. Like, where's the Robert Williams? Because I be letting Robert Williams slide a lot. Because when I usually go crazy on the main guys, but Robert Williams, realistically, fam, you a part of the core too, fam. You been there for quite some time over there. Now you 7'5", fam. You look like a goddamn monster on the TV. Up close, I'm sure you look crazy. Why aren't you grabbing the ball out of the air, bro? When Duncan Robinson is going to the rim, he get blocks. He do. He gets some stops here and there. When he's able to get to time the block the right way. Because I'm not sure if he's just not agile enough. I don't know what it is, bro. He'll get like a block or two, and then he'll just disappear for the rest of the quarter. Like you won't hear anything, you won't see anything. He'll get one lob, then he'll come back to like it's just like if you ain't throwing a lob to him, he's not doing anything, fam. He can't get the ball, he can't post up. You can't get you can't get a shot in the post. You can't activate something in the post, fam. We need a center. And there's no more we, by the way. They need a center and a point guard. Clearly, at this point, they might need to just go young or something. Start a whole new. Maybe the Celtics friend. Maybe it's just over for that whole nostalgic Boston. Maybe we just have too much high expectations for these franchises that all we've seen from them. You know what I'm saying? It was just greatness. Maybe it's just time for a changing of the guard, if you will. It's just probably not going to happen for Boston for another 50 years or something. Maybe y'all just going to be one of those teams now. Like maybe it's over. You understand what I'm saying? I'm all for this. Yeah, that was game 7. So the NBA finals are set to begin this Thursday. Miami, Denver, it's gonna be explosive, man. If I'm being honest though, I think Denver got this one though. I'm not gonna hold you. I think Denver got it, man. I think Denver has been sitting back watching this series. I think they had a lot more time to rest, right? And because of that and that only, I'm gonna give them the edge here. They've had more time to kind of analyze their opponent and kind of chill out. Which maybe that hurts them too though, because realistically, man, the team that stays in rhythm is probably has a better chance. Denver's not a normal team though. I'm gonna take it a step further than that. I feel like that coach over there, Mike Malone, is so methodical. He might have had them guys at the game. They might have been at every single game this past series, incognito, with black hoodies on and masks, scoping out every single play in the playbook. Well, they was probably not. They was probably watching Miami and Eric Spoelstra, more than obviously Joe Mazula ain't really have any plays, right? So they was definitely paying attention. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this all plays out. Game 1 is gonna show me everything I need to see about that series, though. And if Denver come out and smoke them in game 1, then I mean we might be bringing out the brooms again. Because Denver really just been on one this postseason. You feel me? And once they get ready to get a W and get you out of there, it's kind of like once they figure some shit out, it's over. So yeah, Celtics, they might need a new jersey at this point. Change the colorway, change everything. New coach, new superstars, new role players, new jerseys, fam. Maybe change the arena, change the whole optic. It's nasty. I'm dragging it, but yeah, they need to make some changes. They do. Obviously, they do. So it's being rumored that Nick Nurse is set to be the next head coach for the Philadelphia 76ers. That's what I'm seeing. Not really sure what that means. It's also being rumored that James Harden is, getting ready to enter the free agency, and go back to Houston, which is I'm not really sure what the plan is with that. I'm not sure why he would want to go back to Houston at this point of his career. Obviously, I don't think he's chasing a ring going back to Houston. You know what I'm saying? We're not sure what he's chasing in Houston, quite frankly, but clearly James Harden has his mindset on retiring in Houston. I mean, listen, he made his bones there. He's been there for all those years. Maybe whatever. His relationships were that solid and he wants to retire there. That's understandable. He's at the tail end of his career. It just seems like he didn't really fully give the Philly run a full, he was only there for one season basically, right? I felt like they still kind of had a chance to get back and possibly win a ring, depending on, the pieces that they add in the off season, man. I'm all for basketball at this point though. Finals on Thursday, you know, Dead Mama, Tupac Doc, um, man, absolutely, absolutely amazing. I got a chance to watch that over the weekend, and Hulu is trash. I want to say that first. Hulu is disgusting. It's one of the worst streaming platforms that we have out. The irony is, all you see is a bunch of Hulu commercials and ads. Every time I look up, it's a Hulu ad or some shit. Hulu is trash, bro. The ads. So if you select the option to keep the ads or whatever the case may be, they punish you with the ads, fam. They put 30 ads on the damn thing. You watching, you in the middle of great moments with Pac and his mom, then they hit you with the ad in between about some goddamn bleach or something, bro. It is disgusting, bro. Then the ads be buffering, so it's like you're taking longer. You're completely ruining the continuity of the documentary. So ads aside, right? The documentary was amazing, right? And I was still able to kind of lock in and keep my concentration. It's so hard to concentrate when the ads are there, though. I'm not gonna hold you. The ads really kind of ruined it, low key. I might have to rewatch it, but basically, what I'm trying to say is, nah, the doc. This is the best Tupac doc, though, hands down, hands down. This is. I feel like this was the documentary that Afeni would have put out, basically, right? His mother would have, she would have approved of this one right here. I'm not so sure about how Pac would have felt about this. I'm not so sure how Pac would have felt about any of his documentaries or anything that, relating to his image or his likeness, right? Because, Pac was his own, was on his own time. And as far as thinking, and Pac was ahead of all of this shit, man. And, clearly, you know, I feel like they would have enjoyed this doc, though, man. The way they transitioned the story and they highlighted his mother more in the documentary, I feel like, was important because with the previous documentaries, I feel like all of the documentaries, they were pretty decent or whatever. I think the best one though, but before this one, I feel like it was Tupac Resurrection, right? That was the one that went to the theaters, right? They really that was the official Pac documentary. But this one, I feel like they spent a little bit more time focusing on, early Pac and how he moved around, and they highlighted all of the different, all of his different stints in Atlanta and Baltimore. They spoke a lot more about his mom, and they got more into in depth with the relationship with the mom. And I just like the way they was transitioning and the way they were paralleling, the different scenarios that was taking place in Pac's life and what he was dealing with. So basically, Pac had a court case, Mom had a court case, and then they would transition in between the two court cases. And it was just, I just love the way they highlighted his mom in the documentary. Super dope. It's a 5-part documentary. Season one. I'm not sure if that means that there's going to be another season. I'm hoping that's the case because I feel like I just started kind of getting into it and now it's kind of over, right? And them damn ads don't help. It makes you feel like you're getting cheated of the damn documentary, basically, right? When a 30-second or a minute ad is on, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of a 10 though. It was definitely amazing. Oh yeah, Suge Knight. So a lot of things. there were certain things that I didn't know that I found out in this documentary. There were very few clips that I seen. Like I thought I seen all of the Pac footage in the world, right? I thought I seen all of the Pac interviews, and for the most part, I seen all of the ones that they highlighted on the documentary. They just had more footage, so it would be different, the extended versions of interviews that you already seen, basically. So you were seeing like behind the scenes from like video shoots. Brenda's got a baby. There was a lot of different footage on here that clearly Allen Hughes, the Hughes brothers who directed a lot of Pac's, material, they obviously had a lot to do with his first album and, they shot his first music video, right? So I'm pretty sure they have a lot of unreleased footage of Tupac, right? So I feel like they did a really good job with that, just certain Pac clips that we haven't seen before, which is rare. I definitely learned that Suge Knight jumped into the ocean to save Tupac from drowning. Now, this might have been well known to somebody. For the first time, this is the first time I've ever heard anything like this. I had no idea that Suge Knight physically jumped into an ocean to save Tupac from drowning. Now, this is the thing, right? Obviously, there's theories about Pac's death, and I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I don't know what happened. I still don't know what happened. We still don't know what happened. God damn it! I don't think Pac I don't think shit had anything to do with it though. All I'm saying is this: if a man is jumping into the ocean to save you from drowning, I'm just saying I don't see how you turn around and now get this person killed or assassinated. He did want to leave death row though, and obviously, listen, man, the Pac story is crazy. The fact that Tupac was only 25 years old, man, and the amount of things that he was able to accomplish, in that short stint, I would be completely remiss to not mention the fact that they highlighted what I have been saying for the longest time is Tupac's best album that he ever created. It might not be sonically his best album. Understand what I'm saying here. Tupacalypse Now, which is his debut album, right? All I'm saying is this, fam. The social commentary on that album. Just go press play on the album. Just take a listen to it for yourself. You will hear Tupac speaking on things that are, I mean, clearly still going on in 2023, right? And I feel like we see a lot of these brands. You'll see a restaurant put Black Lives Matter up on the window, but in all reality, Pac was really living that on that album. And once he put that album out, the documentary did a good job of highlighting the fact that's pretty much kind of when, most of his legal issues, that's when it all started, basically, right? He went in, he got harassed by the police, and he got beat up by the police in Oakland, and we all seen and know the story well. So I do want to just say that I feel like was super important. The fact that they highlighted that album. They also highlighted things that I wasn't aware of, such as I knew that him and Jasmine Guy had a real good, solid relationship, or whatever the case may be. But what I didn't know is that Jasmine Guy actually attempted to put out a book about his mother. I didn't realize how, involved Jasmine Guy was, with Tupac and his mom in the relationship and how strong and solid that relationship was. Uh, shit, we thought Jada ain't even try to put out the book. I mean, listen, man, it is what it is. They didn't really say anything about Jada actually on this. Maybe season two they'll get into the Jada and Pac side of things. We'll probably hear a little bit more about Jada in season two. I'm just saying, it's hard to really capture everything that Pac went through. They did a good job because this is really only a 3 or 4 year period, right? But there was just so much shit going on, and it was just like a ping pong effect. You in court, you at the banquets, he going off on the Nation of Islam, and I definitely want to also point out the fact that I definitely know two of the individuals, or knew two of the individuals, because one of them definitely passed away. Who are in this documentary. They was in the Tupac Resurrection documentary as well. I just think it's crazy that to be able to say that you were there in that moment with Pac, you know, especially the scene where he's in the wheelchair, you know, they wheel him into the courtroom, the cameras are swarming him, they standing there, they trying to push the cameras off of him. It was a complete, it was crazy, man. A whirlwind of, uh just trouble, man, that just kept following this individual. Realistically, shout out to Shock D. Rest in peace to Shock G, who I feel like got some of the best Pac stories. I feel like if he would have just stayed on Digital Underground, they might have still been putting out records today, fam. I don't know. Shock G, that was really, he should have just stayed with Shock. Even Shock said in the documentary, I stopped putting out music once I stopped, you know what I'm saying? Once I didn't have Pac to put music under, it's kind of like, that's a hard act to follow. What's going on with DJ Envy and Rick Ross right now, fam? DJ Envy and Rick Ross are definitely in some kind of beef. I'm not really sure. Like this all stemmed from basically from what I gathered, you know, based on my interest level of the situation, which is not much. Some type of car show, some type of, event that Rick Ross was supposed to, I'm not sure. I guess he was supposed to be hosting a car show, and then there was some type of issue with venues, and I'm not even really sure how DJ Envy comes into the scenario. Obviously, DJ Envy has car shows that he does, right? My only thing is I'm not really sure how it got and turned into a whole beef. DJ Envy sitting there on the Breakfast Club. He got on police uniforms. He talking about Rick Ross was we already know the Rick Ross story and basically what happened in Miami and how he came up and everything. We already seen the Deep in the Rap interview with Big Tigger. I seen it. I watched that the other day, realistically, fam. I still watch that interview from time to time to remind myself that that actually happened, fam. Because I be feeling like people forgot about that. Rick Ross sat down with Big Tigger and did an interview called Deeper Than Rap. And he talked about how he was a CEO and he tried to make it look cool. Listen, at the end of the day, fam, it was one of the biggest blemishes in hip hop history, fam. We'll never forget that. I won't. You can't come out the gate boss and talking this talk and then this is tucked under the you got this in the closet, fam. You was a cop, realistically, right? And I don't really care about this stuff personally, right? But my thing is this: how can you say the things you say on these records, and then you see people sitting there bopping their head to this shit, really invested? Like, fam, it's clearly cap, bro. What are y'all not understanding? So now DJ Envy is going back and forth with him. So now DJ Envy, Rick Ross, and now Gunplay is involved, and let me do my due diligence, right? Because I ain't even really hold on, man. Let me hear it from the horse's mouth. Because realistically, I'm out of topics. I ain't really even have this on there. I just kind of seen this last minute and was like, you know what? Let me just throw this on the end of this joint because I ain't really. I've been hearing about it, but I've been trying to really avoid this because low key, this shit don't even look like it makes any sense. It just looked like some like. I really thought they was just trying to promote something for real. Basically, I thought it was fake. You understand what I'm saying? So hold on, let me. The last thing I seen though was a phone conversation. So let's get to DJ Envy. Hold on, let me see. Gunplay. Okay, and gunplay. All right, let's see what's going on here. Battery 100%. Connected to you. There's like it's just for the mess of my news and my shout out to Just Hilarious, who I feel like they're trying to keep her. I'm not sure if she's officially the new co-host, but what I will say is this: I'm enjoying Just Hilarious on the Breakfast Club every morning. I do not mind. Yeah, this is a good replacement right here, to say the least. Nice. I want to say I like the other intro better. But I like how she sounds. Okay, so brother Envy, and you are in the blogs this weekend. Look. Okay, so Gunplay and Envy situation that escalated. Listeners, just to keep y'all updated, in case you missed it, during one of DJ Envy's rants to Rick Ross, he brought up Gunplay's name. There's audio for that. Refresh their minds.
Now you talk about boss and all the boss moves you did. We reported a story 3 weeks ago about your guy. Your guy, Gunplay is my brother. He has the Mac in the back of the 7 Series, and that's my brother. We reported a story that Gunplay, shout out to Gunplay friends in the room. We reported a story that he had to, put a GoFundMe up because he was having some problems. If that's your brother, you take care of your brother. Okay, cool. So Gunplay and his family felt the way about the statement. So Charlamagne got
See,
Envy
I
and
didn't even
Gunplay
know.
on a call together. This is how that went.
So, okay, it started to get personal, right? I'm not about to play this goofy shit on my podcast, man. Episode 32, this is basically rewinding down here. Hour and 42 minutes in, no breakfast, no water. But I still came here to slaughter. You understand what I'm saying? DJ Envy and Rick Ross just box at this point, fam. They have the Triller boxing celebrity shit that everybody's doing, bro. Jake Paul made this shit lit. All of the YouTubers is fighting each other, fam. There is no excuses in 2023 for grown men to still have issues with one another and not physically deal with the issues, fam. Like, what's going on with men and this emotional, you know what I'm saying? You wanna get your emotions out to another man. You want another man to see you're emotional about him? I don't give a about nothing about your bro. I will break your face, fam. My point is this. My point is this. DJ Envy, Rick Ross, they have the Triller boxing. Let's set it up. And let's just get in the ring. Let's get in the ring and box it out. Let's get in the ring and box it out. Errol Spence and Bud Crawford, they gonna get in the ring and box it out. We gotta just box it out, man. I feel like let's follow the trend that they have set for us. I feel like that's something that we should all be inspired by. Two guys who had an issue with one another, right? Professional issues for the most part. This is not like a real beef with them. But they willing to get in the ring and box it out. DJ Envy and Rick Ross, we not about to sit here and drag out no. We already know all of this stuff. Get in the ring and box it out. If you got an issue with another man, box it out. I do want to hear what Jess Hilarious. Let me hear her finish saying what she was saying.
Yo, Envy. Play what up, bro? What's up, man? Why you talking crazy, man? Talk crazy about who? About me, my brother. What I had to do with anything, man, and my wife posting a GoFundMe, man. What that my baby was sick, man. She had a heart defect, my brother. Why has nothing to do with cars? I mean, Envy, for real. You know I'll slap you, right? For that. You know that, right?
Hold on, this is getting interesting.
We ain't doing all that. No. I want to be clear. Here. You know I would slap the shit out of you about that, right? And then we can fight, but that's not the reason I'm saying that. So I'll be wrong if I'll be wrong to handle my business then, right? But what's your business? I'm having a conversation with you. If you feel like I disrespected you and talking to you like a man, I'm like, nah, whatever. And if you feel I did, I apologize. That wasn't my intention. My wife is affected by that, my brother. That's I apologize. Thank you, my brother. You cleared up my will because I have no problem.
So I'm assuming that the call was supposed to be
Okay,
private, but no.
I'm gonna get back to that because this is actually interesting now. Envy did say, I'll give Envy credit. He said we could fight. He did say we could fight. He said we could fight. So at the end of the day, I'm not really sure what they trying to do releasing this phone conversation. I heard the key words I needed to hear right there. He with the fade, fam. So I'm not really sure how this is gonna manifest. I highly doubt this is gonna go anywhere. DJ Envy is on the Breakfast Club at 5 a.m. every morning, fam. When are you gonna get DJ Envy? You know what I'm saying? Nah, he actually does do a lot of he hosts a lot of different anyway. Prayers and condolences for DJ Envy, Rick Ross, and Gunplay, man. We gotta stop the violence. Let's end it with a positive message. We have to stop the violence. Put the guns down, put your fist up. Facts. You know what I'm saying? There's too much cowards out here with access to guns and it's just too much cowards out here in general, fam. So you already know what I say. Keep your head on the swivel. So that's a wrap. I'm done. Yeah, episode 32 is in the books. NBA Finals, man. I might not. I'm drained. This NBA playoffs has drained me completely, fam. LeBron thinking about retirement. I'm thinking about retirement. Yeah, how about that? I might retire from this podcast shit, fam. Nah, realistically though, we gonna let the finals play out because I'm starting to see that you can't really This should have changed in the blink of an eye. I'm gonna wait till this whole finals is done, fam. And then I'm gonna come back and hit y'all with my, my NBA Finals wrap up, man. That's a wrap for this episode 32. He is ISCWILLMATIC. Until the next time, next round, Willmatic.